Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing good. So in today's video I am going to quickly show you how I turned this oversized hoodie dress into this two-piece outfit. So grab a cup of warm milk or a drink and sit back and let's go. So for starters, you're going to need a tape measure, some buttons, a scissors, and a fabric chalk or marker. Of course, you're going to want to have a sewing machine unless you want to hand sew. So to begin, I picked up a pair of old shirts that I had and I put it on top of my hoodie dress, and I just used that as a way to mark the length of the shirts that I wanted to have. And then I used my fabric chalk or marker to just mark the pieces. I gave a bit of an inch allowance just to, since I was going to fold it anyway. After doing this, I took the shorts off and I marked the entire waist length of the short where I was going to cut. So you can see I'm joining the two lines. I did create double lines where you can see the lines, the blue line showing, and then I went ahead and I cut it, leaving me with a top piece and a bottom piece eventually. So now we have two pieces, one for the bottom, one for the top, and I go ahead to line the sides of the hoodie dress that were already sewn because I didn't want to do too much cutting. We're working with very limited fabric here. So I go ahead to line them up and pin them to make sure that they did not move out of place. Then I folded my shorts and put them on the fabric, marked them, of course giving it a bit more of an inch, almost an inch allowance before I proceed to cut them. Now I'm doing this for both sides, so by the time I'm done I'm gonna have two sides of shorts that I could match up. You can see the shorts already start to form. So I'm going to go ahead and cut along the line that I drew with the blue fabric chalk, and you have one side of the short, and I'm going to also go ahead and place the other folded side of the short on the other side of the fabric that I haven't cut yet, mark it up and cut that as well, and you're going to end up having two cut sides of the shirts, and that's actually going to be the middle because remember I did not undo the side seams of the dress itself, so we're working towards the middle. So I go ahead to pair it up just to see the way it's gonna turn out. So I went ahead and did some troubleshooting and paired the, is it crouch or like flap? I never get this word right, but the sides up where I was going to sew, and I pinned them together, and then I'm going to get my machine now. So I'm going to now put the fabric under the machine, and do not forget to do your back stitch just to make sure that your fabric and your stitches are firm. So I'm basically sewing some form of a T-shape where I'm following the cut pattern, and I'm sewing all the way down to the flap area of the shorts, and then I'm going to switch and turn onto the other side and sew as well. So you would see what I'm talking about in literally a minute. So I raised the presser foot while leaving the needle in, and then I turned the direction. Of course I placed the presser foot down again, and then I turned the direction and sewed that as well. I'm not doing my zigzag stitches yet just in case I need to correct something. So now we're just going to go ahead and put the legs together or the thigh together, and also continue and sew along the seams. This time we're sewing from one end of the leg to the other end of the leg in a very straight line. We're just sewing all the way down from side A to side B. So this is how these shorts turned out, and I tried them on just to see what I was gonna do with the waistline. It fit okay, it's just the waistline was a bit loose, like if I sat down it would move. So I put that aside and I decided to go ahead and start with the top. Starting with the top, I pinned the sides of the top together just to make it firm so that it wouldn't move, and then I took a measurement of myself using a paper side measurement, and then I placed it on the fabric and cut it from the front because I was gonna have buttons in the front anyway, so it would make more sense to cut it from the front instead of opening the side up. Of course I still gave it a bit more allowance because I felt like it was still gonna be big anyway. So this is what I had left. So I pinned the front together, and then I proceeded to start getting to work on the arms. The reason I did this was because I was going to fold the top together and cut the arm length at once, so it's to prevent it from shifting around too much. So I cut the arm length. I gave a bit more of like half an inch extra length to it, and then I proceeded to fold the front edges inwards. I did a double fold to prevent it from fraying and to make it a bit more firm. This is where I was gonna put my buttons and my buttonholes. Then I made my collar of camera. I actually recorded this, but I'll upload it in a different short video. And then I proceeded to attach the collar to the neckline of my shirt. So for the collar that I was attaching, initially I took the hood off the neckline of the shirt, so it was already created for me. I didn't really have to create a new neckline. So I pinned the right sides of the collar. It's basically you're pinning two right sides together. You're just making sure that the ends and the sewn parts do not show. So I folded the top part of the collar and placed it over the initial wrong side that was showing, and this was going to cover it. You can see. So after I pinned them together and I sewed it, this is what we had left. You can see there is no wrong side of the collar showing, and that is basically what you get for the top. So I proceeded then to add my buttons. I had already created my buttonholes. I just cut the lines and matched the buttons to the holes. So I would always do my buttonholes first. That way it's easier to place the buttons on there than to do your buttons first and have to match the holes to them. So for my buttons, I just used a thread and a needle and sewed it and created a knot on the wrong side so that it does not fall off. And that is basically what I did for the entire side of the shirt. And then I closed it to make sure that everything was in line, and we're almost there. I then went back to the little bit of fabric I had left and measured my waistline and created a waistline for my pair of shorts. I added an elastic and attached them to the shorts the same way I did the top. So guys, this is how they turned out, and this look was actually inspired by Yasmin Ghauri's runway look. There you can see it in the picture, and yeah, just let me know what you think. I'm actually really excited and happy about the way they turned out, and I'll definitely be wearing this all the time.
Idiot, fine girl. Can you imagine? Chai!